This is the 2020 Audi Q7 Progressive trim. This is optioned out with the 21-inch wheels, the driver's assistance package, and my favorite, the black optics package. So you have a black roof rail there, the black window trim, and a black grille. Looking at the condition of the vehicle, I don't see any obvious dents, paint blemishes, or scratches. You have the nice S-line badging there, and Quattro down there. When you step into the vehicle, there's also the S-line badging there. Let's start at the rear. Power tailgate. Now in this compartment there, that's where the battery's stored. In the third row, these are power adjustable seatings. So as long as you hold it down, you're able to adjust it there. There's also a tonneau cover, which is removable, which will give it more room for the third row, obviously. Now, every single door, including the rear, has keyless entry. So there's a sensor right there that you can lock the vehicle. It'll actually lock all four doors and the rear hatch. And if you want to unlock the car, on every single handle, there's a sensor right on the rear there. As soon as you put your hand inside, that will unlock. Nice wood trim right around the door handles. And then that'll be the same on the front. Now, regarding getting into the third row, you'll pull this lever there, that folds down, and then you push right there and lift. Now it's on a strut as well. So it holds it in place. And then this is where you can actually, for both sides as well, lift up the seats. Now you can also adjust the angle. So right there, it's in this most upright. You can fold it further down like that. This is also able to be slid forward, just to give the third row a bit more comfort. Now for reference, I'm 6 feet tall, just so that you can see how much room there is with this at its furthest forward position. But even then, there's still grooves on each side there. So if I was even more forward, I'd still be comfortable. And then that's the amount of room with it slid all the way back. Now these are 40-20-40 folding seats. So not only do you have cup holders for the passengers if they'd like, there is the option to pull this lever down there and fold this down. So if you are loading something a bit longer, or even if you want to give the third row passengers a bit more visibility, you can fold that down and it doesn't impede with the second row seating comfort. There's also a 12-volt outlet down there, 2 USB ports, and individual air. Stepping into the co-pilot seat, 8-way power adjustable seating. There's also nicely bolstered seats, and then that nice wood trim throughout too. Right here, part of the driver's assistance package, you're going to see 2 sensors on each of the grille, and there's also a camera just above the rear view mirror. The camera's just up there. Again, keyless entry on this side as well. 8-way power adjustable seating with 2 memory options. This is nice because it not only saves what you have as the seating position, it also saves what you have as the steering wheel, and then also the mirror there. And then for children in the second row, you have electronic parking locks, electronic door locks. Automatic headlights and high beams, and push button start. Now let's talk about this power adjustable steering wheel. There is Audi's virtual cockpit with built-in navigation. Now this uses Google Maps, so it's continuously being updated as well. But here you can have it set to your driver's assistance, some traffic signs, even your vehicle fuel consumption. This is if you want to switch the radio station. This is if you have your phone hooked up. Speaking of which, it does have wireless CarPlay. But my favorite is the built-in navigation. There's different settings you can have. So you can have the large display. If you press this view button down there, you can pull up your tachometer and your speedometer there. And if you go into the settings here, go into display and brightness, virtual cockpit, you can change it. So right now it's set to classic with the rotary there. You can switch it to dynamic, which puts in that position there, or that when you change the view. And there's also sport mode. My personal favorite is the dynamic, just because it's the prettiest layout and it doesn't really impede with any of the visuals. You still have your gear, your speed, and then your navigation there. Right here on the left side, now this is capacitive touch. So right now you can highlight what you want, but to actually select it, you would push down and you can feel the screen pushing in. That's navigation. This is if you had your phone set up, your music, your radio, and also if you want to go home as well. Now volume knobs. There's one down there that can either be used for the driver or the passenger. It's very convenient, but I find I tend to use the volume knob right there. The passenger uses that button down there. Now this is to turn on the heated steering wheel, on or off, and it'll actually let you know just up there. This is adaptive cruise control. You can set the distance between the vehicle of you and in front of you. This is to turn it on. Very easy to do when you're driving. Simply driving, you just tap the button right there. This is also your lane departure warning with your turn signals. So to turn on the lane departure warning, press that button there and it's initiated. And it lets you know right down there with that car. And off. These are your rain sensing wipers and your paddle shifters. You have different drive modes. So if we go into drive select, right here you have off-road, comfort, auto, or dynamic. In individual mode, you're able to adjust how quickly the vehicle accelerates, how sensitive the accelerator pedal is, and also your steering. So in comfort mode, it will be the easiest to turn. In sport, it'll be a bit more stiff. I tend to have a balanced drive, but a stiffer steering wheel. That way, there's not much wobbling. Just easier to control. Just down here, electronic parking brake. This is the new gear shift that they're implementing. So to go in reverse, push up there. And then that is the 360-degree camera. So you have that on the right. This is on the left with the adjustments depending on your steering. And if you want to go into 3D mode, you can see different surroundings. This is for the front, this is the side, and also the rear. I like this vent system. While the vents are only there, and then there's one also on the end there, it makes it look like the ventilation system goes all the way across. It's a nice design choice. Put into drive, push down there. Now you can have it in either drive, or if you push down one more time, you can put it into sport mode. You can also push to the right there, which allows you to adjust which gear you're in. Even if you're just in drive or in sport mode, you can simply use the paddle shift or downshift if you want, and that will adjust accordingly. Right down here, you have the HVAC system built into the rear screen. So you have heated seats with 3 different adjustments for the driver and the passenger. and then same for ventilated seats. Right there is the button for your parking sensors. This is to turn on the driver's assistance if you'd like. Auto start stop, hill descent control. This is your home link, so you can hook it up to a garage if you'd like. And in this is to turn off the screen. So at night, if you find you're not using it, it's a bit too bright, you can always turn that off, and you simply tap to do it again. And if you want to turn off both, you hold down and it turns off both screens for you. And then to restart it, put it back on, simply hold it again, turns them both back on.